better than that. We have JT Barrett.
Yeah, that list sucked.
The JT Barrett.
That list sucked. Your string is over. You got to do better tomorrow.
I'll be back.
JT Barrett on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Yeah, everybody. JT in the house. JT, your favorite Buckeye tradition was?
Team Up North game.
So that's a tradition.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a
sure.
tradition.
Yeah.
When you write M's, like if you're writing something or you're sending an email or something that week, do you put the red X like the fans do, or you think that's stupid?
No, that's. I don't think that's stupid. I think it might be a much for me. But no.
Plus, it's not like the letter M is rarely used. Like,
I know, so I don't understand why people do that.
Wait a minute, what about Carmen, Ohio? I loved the singing of it's Carmen, Ohio, right? At the end of after the wins, the teams come together and they lock arms facing the student section.
I've done that. We've done that.
110,000 people are singing Carmen, Ohio. That used to give me goosebumps.
You know what's so funny about the band at Ohio State is that in high school, the football players are putting the band members in lockers, and then in college, they're celebrating them on the field.
Because they're the best damn band in the land.
That's true. That script Ohio is.
It is pretty sweet.
That's dope.
Nice.
It is pretty sweet.
No, that's what it is. It's nice.
So, first of all, welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. For those that don't, Tyvis kind of filled us in a little while ago, but for those that don't know, tell us where you are. We knew that you were with the CFL team, but what's going on? Where are you right now?
Yeah, right now, currently Dallas, but just rehabbing. I had an injury, trying to go up there playing the CFL, but I was just training, had an injury, so rehabbing from that and just coming back from that and kind of figuring out that second part of life after ball, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
JT, you tore your Achilles, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Now, JT and I look like we're in about the same shape, right? That's pretty fair to say.
Very similar.
You know?
Yeah, very similar.
No, but I could feel his pain, not from playing football, but I tore my Achilles too. Probably a little easier for you to rehab since you're in 1,000 times better shape than me. But I know how brutal an injury it is. It's scary when you, and I know you've done it twice. Tyvis was telling us about it. And, man, that is just brutal. That's a hard rehab, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, I guess I've had my fair share of injuries playing a game of football. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's part of it. It's interesting because as the days go on, I mean, things get better. So you keep attacking it each and every day, trying to progress a little bit. And, you know, you look up in 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. So it gets better with time like anything.
You know, Joe, can I call you Joe?
I never knew that.
What's going on?
I've been calling him that all this like Joe. So Joe, listen.
You've never called me Joe.
I have called you Joe your entire since I learned your name was Joe. I've called you Joe. But anyways, that's not either here nor there. You know, at Ohio State, you are a great leader for the team. You know, I really admired your stuff, and you really got us fired up and win games. And you had this mentality about you that no matter what happened, whether you was hurt, I remember the Penn State game, you sprained your MCL and you continued to stay out there. Where did you develop this leadership from? Like, where did it come from? And this never quit mentality?
I don't know. Leadership, where did it come from? I don't know. I've been very fortunate to be around some great coaches, mentors in my own life that have impacted me in a way that I think that shaped and molded the leadership that I have, right? But can't say it's necessarily came from one place. Parents also, too, being hardworking individuals. But I don't know. I feel like all of that. But then at the end of the day, when it comes to, like, never give up mentality, I think it's, I mean, you know, tape. It's never as bad as what you think. It's never as good as what you think, right? Yeah. And so in, you know, the game of football, you be in, you know, situations where it's like, man, this is awful, right? Like, this is tough. But it also could be like, well, this is not the worst we've been in, or we could come out of this. So, and we've been in situations like that before. So it's like, I don't know, I guess more so it's a mindset and perspective when it comes to those things. But
you know, JT, going back to your high school days, right? You come from the great state of Texas. Now, Texas in high school, it's known for football, right? Ohio's a great state as well. Did you have a hard decision going to Ohio State? And what teams in Texas did you grow up like watching or grow up as, you know, rooting for?
Yeah, it was Ohio. Relax. First of all, I'm going to talk flaws. Don't give me like that. But nah, it was Ohio State really wasn't. I feel like on the radar. I feel like I don't know. Growing up watching college football, it didn't really come on. I guess our network of TV teams or whatever. So with that, we didn't get a lot of Ohio State. I watched Oklahoma, Texas, Baylor when RG3 was there for that that short little bit, LSU and things like that. And so Ohio State just kind of came in. Coach Meyer recruited David Nelson from my high school when he was at Florida. So that relationship kind of structured that. But then leaving or growing up watching teams, I would say LSU and Texas. I mean, Vince Young, when he was at Texas, I mean, he was the man, So times like that, growing up in Texas was pretty cool. So,
JT, what's your greatest memory from your days at Ohio State?
Ooh, sheesh, put me on the spot. Greatest memory?
Because you had a lot of them, I know. But what's your snapshot moment from your career?
I felt like, at first you put me on the spot, but then, I don't know. Winning the national championship was it. We were, the fact that, I was a part of that, we were able to do that. That was one of the things that I went to Ohio State for, was being able to win a national championship. That was something that I want to be a part of. So, that comes from right there. You could say you was best for a year, and we all know how extremely tough that is. So, I don't know too much top that.
By the way, speaking of Texas, Texas Western was UTEP. It's now been clarified.
Okay.
UTEP.
Yeah, you figured that out.
But now, correct me if I'm wrong. In the NFL, you spent at least time with Russell Wilson, Big Ben, and Drew Brees. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
What were those experiences like? What did you learn from those guys?
All of them professionals. Obviously, highly skilled at what they do. All have a different approach as well. So you was able to see how you was able to, be really good at the game of football, but, attacking in different ways. All of them have different skill sets too, which help them be great. But more so, I would say the preparation and how you prepare to go win a football game as a starting quarterback of an organization. I think everybody has their own approach on, what works for them. But seeing the different ways to go about it. Drew is a true grinder. Excellent at everything he did at life, it seemed like. And Russell Wilson, his energy that he had throughout the building, it was so positive. Tyvis, you talking about that never give up mentality. You felt it on him. It was like an aura that was on him walking around. And then Big Ben, just the presence he had, knowing that he had, people talk about that it factor. They didn't even call him by his name. They just said 7 and in the building, you know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of that type of respect. So all of them had their different things. So I was able to grab something from each and every one of them, just more so the preparation of the game. So it was cool.
JT, talk about the difficulties of being a quarterback in the NFL. Obviously everybody doesn't have the glamorous story. Like you're like myself, who bounced around a couple of times. Tell everybody what that's like, bouncing around and not being able to control, what your coaches think or the perception that they might have of you.
At the end of the day, I don't know. It's tough, no doubt. Playing in the NFL is tough, regardless of position. But at the end of the day, I think it is a challenging, when you're moving team to team, learning the offense, and as a quarterback, understanding. The same thing on defense too. But each team runs the same type of plays, but call it something different, right? So you're learning a different language each time you get moved to a different team. So that's creates its own challenges within itself. But I don't know. It's just not the glitz and glamour I think some people get to see, especially when you're the quarterback 2 and 3, when you're working on to really fight for a job to be on the 53, not even relative to being a starter, right? So with that, it has its own challenges. But it's a life we chose, man. It's glorious ups and downs, but it is what it is. It's the life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, JT.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know, JT, I'm just sitting here watching you, right, and how you communicate and how you break things down. You talked about life after football, right? You know, talk to Tyvis all the time about that shock of being like, okay, this is all finished, or I'm going to transition to something else. Have you thought about going into coaching? Because I don't know, I just see it, the way you communicate the game, the way you just as a leader, as a quarterback, and you talked about just learning different languages or whatever, and just being able to do that. Have you ever thought about? Because I don't know, it's just me. I just look at him like, that's a dude that is a coordinator somewhere. That's a dude that can really talk the game. Have you thought about moving into that area or something like that?
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Definitely thought of it. Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know what that initially looks like. I mean, I think oftentimes people get into coaching like their, dads were into it, or kind of that generational lineage with it, whatever. Well, my dad, he worked in the Army, he was an electrician, so it's definitely different from that standpoint. But as far as communicating, I mean, in life after football, I think about, I don't know, like at the end of the day, with business, you're working with people, right? And with working with people, you have to be able to communicate effectively. And so I have tried to do a good job of that. And whether it be leading people in the game of football, like in the past, or now when you talk about different things in life after football, I think you communicating with people and interacting with people and trying to do that effectively to get the most out of people, I think is what's ideal. So that's in the game of football. As far as coaching or in some other realm of business, I think it helps to communicate well.
Yeah, it's big in everything you do. JT, I know he was on defense, but give us some Tyvis stories. What kind of teammate was he? Was he a good teammate? What was going on with this cat?
Really?
I mean, what was going on with Tyvis? What's not going on with my guy? At the end of the day, Tyvis's energy, like it, he always has something to say, good, bad, or indifferent. My guy's going to say what's on his mind. So being at practice, him talking a mess across the field, I'm not worried about you, Tyvis. I know your job. I know what you're doing.
Won't you throw that dig route so I can go there and pick it up? Because you knew what I was on. I was sitting there, please just run there, throw that dig. You know what? Joe Burrow actually made that mistake. They ran their concept, and I jumped the dig, and JT was the first one. You can't throw that, bro. Tyvis know that already.
He's sitting on it.
Hey, young and dumb.
JT, does Ohio State get any credit for the Joe Burrow NFL success?
I mean, I don't know if it matters or not. I think it's part of his experience, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think he definitely learned some things along the way, whether it be at Ohio State or LSU, to help him what he's doing now. So I think it's hard not to give a little credit to that. But I don't know.
Who is the best dressed Buckeye teammate? Best dressed
Buckeye teammate?
Yeah.
That's a solid one. That is a solid one. I'm gonna see what Tyvis has to say this one. Who did you say?
I wasn't about to say nothing. Who was you about to say? Because it wasn't you.
Wow.
That's hard.
Bro, relax on the dog. I mean,
you was fresh.
I was not about to say myself. I mean, I was not. I mean, I came to Woody together, but I was gonna say Josh Perry.
That's a great answer, actually. Josh is very.
He came. He's
to
the
still
Woody
like
fresh.
that, actually. Yeah, he nice.
Right.
That boy clean.
Mean, we was 6:00 in the morning, and they, getting ready for them winter workouts, and my guy was just like, "Boy, you got jeans on?" You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well,
he came fresh.
Who is you going? You going to a pizza eating contest? Who are you picking to represent your Buckeyes team in the pizza eating contest?
Eating contest.
Maybe an offensive lineman. Although those hot dog eating champions are always skinny, so I don't know.
Nah, we would have to get one of Slobs on that duty. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I feel like we didn't have people that. I feel like our O-line were trying to fight to keep on weight. They wasn't even trying to keep it off. I'm trying to think who. Right? I don't even know who it would be. I'm gonna say. gonna say Pat because he's my.
That's a great answer because that's who I would have said.
He's gonna go all in.
Yeah, Pat gonna go hard.
Now, Tyvis, you can hop in on this. Now, JT, like, you know, when I played, right, one of the things I hated was, like, working out. That's like, I guess that's counterproductive to playing Division I football. But what is the hardest workout you've done?
St. Valentine's Day or the Harley Davidson, easily.
So what's that?
What are those?
What's that?
It's something that every Buckeye player knows.
They must be hard because JT was like,
Whoa.
whoa.
For the layman out there, can you explain to the people what entails in this workout and why the regular person could not go through it?
Man, so it's
well, yeah, you got to prepare for that type of workout. Right? You just can't wake up on a
really
Friday
mental.
and go do that.
Yeah, it's
I mean, mental is definitely part of it, but all right, so it's a lower body leg day that is meant to blow you out to the extreme, right? So you're talking about leg press to big squat. I mean, running on the treadmill for a burnout
Pushing
session
the
to file jumps, sleds, wall sits. I mean, the whole nine, right? And at the end of and on top of that, you have a coach yelling at you, like really almost coming at your whole being as a person.
Yeah,
but not as a, you know, and as a football, in order to get you better, you know what I'm saying? Not really tear you down, but at the end of the day, he is yelling. And so it does make things more difficult.
You got a finisher after everything. You got a finisher after every workout.
And that's the thing, right? So there was two groups. There was a 6 a.m. and an 8 a.m. You wanted that 6 a.m. to get him out the way, right? Because if you just saw the aftermath walking in at 8, you was like, oh, this ain't going to be good.
I'm telling you. I swear.
Sign me up for the 6.
You come in at 8 and see them people walking out there at 6.
How often did you do these workouts?
It's every year for Valentine's Day, and then the Harley Davidson, I think, is a week after.
Oh, my God.
So it's every year.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Valentine's Day workout. I mean, what's the point of that?
St.
They don't
Valentine's
have
Day
sex on that day or
massacre.
something? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's like I said, every Buckeye, if you go through, they know exactly what it is.
You can throw up off leg exercise.
Oh, yes,
Hey,
you
JT,
absolutely
we got to
can
ask
throw up.
JT
I've
about
done
this.
it.
So,
Sick, man.
So we've had Leroy Horde as a regular on our show, former Browns running back. He's a Michigan guy. And he has been talking trash about Michigan's win because it's their first time in, 35 years that they finally won. And you, of course, went 4-0 against Michigan. So what do you think of Michigan fans or even alums, former players, talking trash after their one win? And how bad will Ohio State kick their ass, you think, this year?
I mean, let's just put it in perspective, guys. Let's talk about it. One, this was after they decided not to play us the year before.
That's very true.
And a lot of those guys, just want to bring it up, I think were those COVID 6-year guys.
Yes, it's 27.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with this being said, I mean, it was at home. They had a little momentum, you know what I'm saying, going into it, yada, yada. We did lose at the end of the day, so, you know what I'm saying, that is what it is. But bringing in perspective those things, not saying you hang your hat on them, but I think they should have been highlighted.
You make great points.
It's a great point.
Bull mentioned that you were 4-0 against Michigan, but you're the first quarterback ever to go 4-0 against Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean to you? And how big is that in your legacy? Because you know that game is the Super Bowl, man. That's everything to Buckeye fans.
I mean, yeah, it is a big deal. I don't know. I think it was. This might sound just arrogant, but it was like we were supposed to win.
Thank you.
Like,
yeah.
And Tyvis, thanks. So it's just like
they were not good, JT. They were never good. They were never good.
Being there, it was. I remember Coach Meyer was just like, "Don't lose."
It was simple.
Don't lose.
That's it.
It was simple. Like they were a very hyped team. Like they get a lot of hype every year, but they never amount to the hype. So it's like
Notre Dame gets more hype though. I feel like.
I don't know.
I mean,
no,
at the end
ever
of the
since
day-
Jim got there, they get hyped top 5, and I'll be
that's
like,
true.
where?
I mean, it's tough. I think it's. I mean, rivalry games. At the end of the day, I mean, you remember in 2013, I didn't even play. That was the year I redshirted, the 42-43 game, and
Oh, that was
we
my
were
year.
ranked top in the country. Yeah, and I mean, that was a slugfest, right? So
It was.
rivalry games, you get that, and I mean, down to the fourth quarter every time a rivalry game is. I mean, you saw Alabama Auburn this past year, so it's like that's what you get when you get a rivalry game. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It was just like it. It was a lot of emotion at both sides. I mean, both sides, either one could win that game. But the way it was expressed to us, it was don't lose, and we tried to do our best not to do that. So, with that, that's how I think about it.
JT, favorite football movie of all time?
Favorite football movie? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna go Friday Night Lights.
Great
Which
answer.
took place in Texas, of course.
Yeah.
I read the book,
That's
by
a
the way. Has anybody
biased
read that
answer.
book?
The same guy wrote that. That wrote Money.
Bissinger.
Yeah.
It's
Buzz,
a great
was
book.
It Buzz Bissinger or something like that?
That's such a biased answer, though, JT.
What are you talking about, Booby Miles?
It's why
Do you know him?
Yeah, he
I
was.
don't know Booby personally, but come on.
He was
Well, I
the
brought him up. I thought maybe
He was the central figure in the movie.
Yeah.
Definitely
That
said it like
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
if
it
you're
was-
gonna do somebody, you're gonna do somebody with Nikes on your feet.
But listen, listen, JT, I'm a huge any given Sunday guy. Like that's my
Ooh,
favorite
I
football.
forgot
movie.
The
about
teams
him.
look
I
so
forgot about
phony,
him.
though.
It's so
Like,
dark.
With Jamie Foxx and LL Cool J and
Al
Bill
Pacino
Bellamy.
was good.
Yeah, like it's great.
It
Come
just
on,
didn't-
man.
It wasn't realistic. The way
It
the
was
game footage
realistic.
shot.
Lawrence
It was.
Taylor.
It was.
Lawrence Taylor. You left out Lawrence Taylor.
Jim Brown was the coach.
He was one of the coaches. That's true.
Hey, before we let you go,
That's
Mikey McNuggets is our producer. He's a Texas A&M guy. He was there for a couple of years before he came here, working in the media. He wants to ask a question. Go ahead, McNuggets.
I actually have two. They're actually two
questions.
real questions.
All right.
JT, first off, quarterback to quarterback, Ohio State QB to Ohio State QB. What do you think about CJ Stroud?
I think he is really good. He was last year. I think a lot of people were. I don't even know. Coming off of Justin Fields, he was being asked a lot of him. But with that, each and every week, he was able to develop. I think everybody was nervous after the Oregon game, but kind of like in my year, we lost to Virginia Tech, and everybody looked at me crazy and was like, "Oh, what's this going to be like?" So it's kind of the same type of deal with CJ Stroud. Once he got his feet underneath him, he got the rolling. But I think he's really good, accurate quarterback. Throws a really good ball. So he's only going to get better.
And secondly, we talked about Tyvis reading the dig. I got to know, what was Tyvis's weakness then? When they called the certain play, what did you know Tyvis was going to get lost?
He's got an
Hey,
answer ready.
Tyvis knows his weakness. His eyes in the wrong spot. That's what it is.
You're peeking.
Listen,
You got undisciplined eyes,
You
dog?
can't make the play if you're not looking at the quarterback. So like, you got to know where the ball is going.
Read your keys, son.
Uh-huh. That's funny.
Well, listen, JT, we can't thank you enough for coming on. We've been talking about having you on for a while. We know there was a communication or a little wire crossed on our part or whatever the last time, but we're thrilled to have you on. I know that this is an interesting time for you as you make this transition. We wish you the best of luck, and we know you're going to have all the success in the world because you can't be that successful as a high-level Division I quarterback without transferring that success to the real world. So I know you're going to slay it. Best of luck to you. And we're looking forward to having you back on during the football season if we can do that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. JT Barrett, the great JT Barrett, former Ohio State quarterback. You know, when you think about the 4-0 against Michigan,
Yeah.
like
He was first to
the
do that.
first to do it.
That is
And he'll always be able to say,
Yeah,
I
that's
was the one
amazing.
that I was the first member of that club.